Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to the Memorial Day services. We'd like to have the national anthem by Zachary Gilbert. Zach?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you.
Next year at the All-Star Game, Zach Gilbert. I'd like to do the Pledge of Allegiance with everybody in attendance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We'd like to have the invocation by the United Methodist Church, Coaldale. Pastor Yolanda Garcia. Pastor.
Gracious sovereign God, Lord of all nations, on this day that we celebrate Memorial Day, we pause to reflect upon our blessings as a nation and the cost of those blessings. We offer our prayers of thanks and intercession. Thank you for the freedom we enjoy in this country, for opportunities to flourish, and for the security of our land. Thank you for those who have served in the armed services of our country, risking their lives for our liberty. Thank you for those who have given their lives in service for this country, sacrificing in such a costly way for the sake of others, including myself. Thank you for those who have given their lives so those who live in other countries might experience the freedom. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. Now we'd like to have a rendition by the Panther Valley High School Band under the direction of Mark Christ. Thank you, Mark, Chris, and the band. Now we'll have remarks by the Mayor of Coaldale, Joel Johnson. Mayor.
Good afternoon, Coaldale. Good afternoon, Seekers. Thank you for including me in this Memorial Day observation. You will note I did not use the word celebration because this day is not a celebration. We come together to remember our servicemen and women who served our country in all wars and conflicts we have endured as a nation. Most importantly, we gather here to remember those Coaldale residents who gave their ultimate, the lives to protect our freedoms we continue to enjoy every day. You have no doubt heard radio and television commentators ask people, what is the greatest threat to the United States? I do not believe it's inflation, terroristic threats, the stock market, or even President Obama himself. I do believe that our children and grandchildren do not know how to be patriotic, and they do not have a sense of what it is to be a true American and what living in the greatest nation on earth truly means. Each morning, school children repeat the Pledge of Allegiance in school, but too often it becomes a repetitive exercise with little or no meaning. Freedom is not free, and unless young people understand the sacrifices your generation and mine made at the World Wars, Korean War, Vietnam, Afghanistan, and Iraq, we are doomed as a free people. So today, let us come together as a community and remember those brave men and women of Coaldale that sacrificed so much so we can stand here today. Also, let us thank the courageous families that they have left behind. God bless you all for your sacrifices. God bless Coaldale. God bless the United States. May she always be the greatest nation on earth. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Now we'll have the Gettysburg Address by Seth Frizzell. Well, I guess Seth got the wrong address. He's in Gettysburg. Okay, now we'll have Flanders Field by Noah Easterly.
In Flanders fields, the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high, if ye break faith with us who die. We shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields.
Thank you very much, Noah. Now a little bit about the speaker of today's memorial. Major New is currently a senior Army instructor for Panther Valley ROTC. He retired from active duty September 1st, 2014, after serving more than 20 years of active duty. His first enlistment was in 1990, and he served with the 314th Infantry Army Reserve in Harrisburg, PA, as an 11 hotel. An anti-armor infantryman in October 1991, Major New enlisted in the active Army, then reported to D Company 187th of the Infantry, 101st Airborne Air Assault at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, as an 11 hotel. In 1994, Major New received the U.S. Army Green to Gold Scholarship to attend Austin Peay State University at Clarksville, Tennessee. After completing his college education in 1997, he was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Armor Branch. While serving as an armor officer, he served with the 3rd Armored Cavalry Regiment at Fort Carson, Colorado. A troop commander in 161st Cavalry Squadron, Fort Knox, Kentucky, Chief of Armor and Cavalry Tactics, Armor Officer Basic Course, Cavalry Regiment at Fort Knox, Kentucky. Advisor to the 1st Brigade, Saudi Arabia National Guard at Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It was a G3 Chief of Training for the 7th Infantry Division, Joint Base Lewis McChord in Washington State. His civilian education includes Bachelor of Science in History from Austin Peay State University in Tennessee, Master of Education in Adult and Continuing Education for Kansas State University, 2009, and is currently completing a Master's of Science in Sports Leadership from Duquesne University. He will graduate in August of this year. Drew Carey never has this problem on TV. He is married to Carey, his wife, and they reside in Allentown. Mrs. New was raised in Horicon, Wisconsin, which is about 1 hour away from northwest of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They have a daughter, Amber, who is currently in the Pennsylvania National Guard, completing AIT training at Fort Gordon to be a communication equipment repair specialist. Upon completion of AIT, she will return to California University of Pennsylvania to pursue the degree in communications. Major New.
Well, I couldn't ask for better weather than today. Yesterday was a little worried, and the weekdays before leading up to it, a little cold, a little rainy, but that's okay. God shone favor upon us for today. Thank you, United Veterans Service Organization of Schuylkill County, Coaldale VFW Post 6982, American Legion Post 170, and Mayor Johnson. Thank you, sir, for attending. Memorial Day, if you look in the back of your program, it kind of gives a little history of Memorial Day. And that's kind of important. As we know, the word memorial, embedded within it is the word memory, and that's kind of what we're here to do today. Celebrate the memory of those who have passed before us in service to their country. Memorial Day, or as it was known prior to 1967, Decoration Day. And that day grew out of really a hybrid of the American Civil War, both North and the South, to honor those who had died in service defending their country. While the origins of Memorial Day are wrapped in somewhat controversial and who wants to claim the dates for it, nothing can be stated the fact that it's designed to be memory of those who passed before us. The first real date of honor was about 1868, again by Civil War veterans and their spouses who were aligning themselves to remember those who had passed before. And then it grew into the 1900s. Those same veterans of the North and South merged their day to celebrate the passing of those who died. And then in the 1940s started beginning the terms that we know today, Memorial Day, as a result of our conflicts in World War I and World War II in Korea, as it was later known in the 50s. Then in 1967, Congress passed the Federal Act declaring Memorial Day as its official moniker, and to be celebrated on the 30th of May. Then in 1971, Congress passed the Uniform Monday Holiday Act, moving Monday to the current day of Monday, the last Monday of the month. Regardless of the passage of the bill or its clouded history or the claims of history, today again we gather to celebrate the lives and to remember those who sacrificed so much for us to be free today. And they're not only just members of the armed services community, there are also other government agencies who have passed in service to this country. Organizations like the CIA, the FBI, all the local police and firefighters, And even to those American patriots who never served a day in the military or police or community-based public safety institutions, died defending our principles. We remember those people as well on these days like this. Remember in events that sparked memories from us, the 1983 Beirut bombings, 1995 World Trade Center bombing, the 1996 Oklahoma City federal bombing, and most recently those who died in 9/11 on the flights that crashed into the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and Flight 93. Again, we're not looking at the uniform, we're looking at those people who never served, who died on those days defending what we do right today. While those events are distant in many miles and years for some, we pause on days like this to remember them. Our local veterans also have done a great service to our country and community. They represent the values, ethics, and traditions, not only of Coaldale and Schuylkill County, but also outside of it, within our great nation and this great Commonwealth. People from this area have risen to the task of defending what's right and the freedoms and liberties ever since the days of the Civil War. And I'm sure if we search hard enough, we'd probably find some Revolutionary War ties as well. But people who stand out in the crowd, they're just not names on the plaque. And to some of those we should look at and get to know them and remember and memorialize, retain the memory of them. For some, they're just a name on the plaque, but to others within this community, they were a friend, they were a brother, a sister, a husband, a wife, an uncle, or some type of family member, or just a friend, an acquaintance that we knew, to whom we are eternally indebted to. People like on the names or some of these plaques you may find is Captain Norman Lewis Nestorak, HHC, 8th Infantry Engineer Battalion, 1st Cav Division, died 1969 in Vietnam. Sergeant George Lukic, USMC, who died on Mount Suribachi, who was awarded his 2nd Navy Cross during that battle. Private Joseph Herring, Company H, 11th PA Infantry, Coaldale, KIA in the Civil War. So you see there's a lot of history and memory to be made, just not names on the plaque. So remember all those who have also not returned to our foreign shores, who are government civilians working for agencies fully mentioned. While being classified, we should remember them as well. There are also those who did not return from this area. Charles J. Sahora, a member of the 345th BG from Coaldale, who is still classified on the MIA records. Remember their memories as well. Today is designed for them. Their sacrifice allow us to remain today. So today, take the opportunity to tell the story of a veteran. Keep their memory alive. There's other ones out there that we have as well. I'd also like to thank individuals and groups of organizations who dedicate their time to remember the days, keep the memories alive, much like our American Legion brethren, our veteran of foreign wars. But within inside of that, there's also other organizations. I did some research and found that the Coaldale High School Alumni Association does a very good job of keeping history alive. In fact, they have a quiz online that talks about 2 streets primarily, Bull Run, which we stand on, and Moser Street. They're both named after General Moser, who was integral in the Battle of Bull Run, and Bull Run is here. As many claim, he was one of the first residents in this area. So there's history around us, and it's benefit of the groups of Coaldale and working together with their veteran partners to make these dreams and memories stay alive. And there's individuals like Bill Gaddis, many of you who know, who dedicated a tremendous memorial across the street from here. And another colleague, Susan Fendak of Coaldale, who painted the mural of the American flag along representing the flag being raised over Iwo Jima. So individuals like that keep our memories alive. We are in charter then to remember and keep that history alive as well. So in closing, regardless of the origins of the day and the exact date of how this day came about, it is important that we are keeping the memory of those who served alive with us by telling their stories, and remaining them to allow within our hearts and our minds as we go forward every day. And as history around us, look around and remember how it's tied to not only your community, but how they help benefit our community. Again, thank you all for attending today, and we look forward to talking to you and keeping the memory alive of those soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and anybody else who has passed in service to this great country. Thank you.
Now we'll have music by the Panther Valley Band. Thank you, Mark. Very nice. The next gentleman I'm going to introduce, everybody hears about World War II. This gentleman happened to be there at the Battle of the Bulge. He might not have been actually on the battlefield, but he was as close as you could come without being wounded. In that Battle of the Bulge, there were 610,000 men from the United States involved in that battle. If you don't know what 610,000 men are, it would be every service-age person in the following counties: Schuylkill, Carbon, Lehigh, Luzerne, Berks County, and Lebanon County. Every service age over 18 would not be in any of those counties. They would all be over in the Battle of the Bulge. In that battle, there were 89,000 people wounded in the first 3 days and 19,000 killed. We are here to honor the 89,000 and the 19,000 today. Ladies and gentlemen, your town young man and veteran, Nick Praschak.
Okay. The deceased veterans of Coaldale since Memorial Day, 25 May 2014. There are 20 of us today. There are only a few left that are alive. I could only name 3. Steve Harvalovic, Chester Gangaware, and myself. We were all classmates of 42, and then we went in to serve. The dead, as of today: Edward C. Schober, Steve Tippy Tantello, Robert D. Davis, Thomas J. Davis, Robert D. Love, August M. Augie Gullah, Matthew F. Starry, Michael A. Semko, Corey Michael Samuel, Roman Tantello Jr., William J. Sheetram, Joseph Lasco, Robert L. Harris, Norman F. Foreman, Leonard Lenny Pauck, John Zenzel, Simon Sky Stefaniak, John D. Stefaniak, Elizabeth Betty Vincent, Kenneth L. McLaughlin, Edward Pee Wee Mance. May they rest in peace. God bless them. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to watch TV to see a veteran. There's somebody that was there. Thank you. Now we'll have a rifle salute from the Panther Valley ROTC. Thank you, ROTC. Very well done. We'd like to have benediction by the pastor, but before we do, I'd just like to thank the people that put these flags up. I had the opportunity to work with them a few Saturdays ago. They did a very good job under some conditions. We lost the town fella. You all know who he is. But they worked tirelessly and did a great job to put these flags up. These flags, when they get wet, they weigh a ton, and the support of the brackets can't hold them. These guys put them up once, and today they were back putting them up that fell down. God bless them. Pastor?
Thank you, sir. There is no greater love than this, to lay down one's life for his friends. This is the reason we're all here this day, to give tribute, respect, remembrance, and honor to these men and women of our armed forces. Each and every single one of their lives and all they were able to do. And on this day, we say thanks, for they carried themselves as soldiers, as though they were serving God. So may God bless their very souls, protect those soldiers who are now standing even in harm's way. Let us continue to lift them up. May God clothe this country in his care. May God forever hold us and ours in his holy embrace and grant us peace for those here and for the entire country. Amen.
Thank you very much, Pastor. We'll have the final selection by the Panther Valley Band now. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, band, and the ROTC. Thank you very much. This concludes our service here at Seat. We will be heading up to the City Hall for the next memorial service. So if you care to join us, please follow us. And thank you very much for coming out. God bless you.